All right, Shalom. Kol halayim la, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachak Badash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well for teaching me the truth. Salutations to the hopeful elect. All right, Shalom, Lahabachariyim. To you brothers out there across the globe, pushing the truth with all righteousness and sincerity. And to you few sincere sisters, you Agwathium, who hearken as well diligently. Shalom Mahal Barbarakium. All right, that means peace, love, and blessings in the Paleo Hebrew. For you so-called Negroes, Latinos, the Native Americans who are Israelites according to the Holy Bible. Okay? This is going to be a law video. What I've just read recently, not just, excuse me, but, earlier in the day and things of that nature. But I was looking at this article earlier about an Australian inbred family. Okay? And, through the Spirit, I'll just be going into the law concerning, matters of such cases. All right? And how, you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, this is absolutely not a part of our customs. This is against our customs. All right? We're not supposed to be sleeping, and I'm gonna go into it, but just a brief. We're not supposed to be sleeping with our own mothers, our fathers, our sisters, our brothers, okay, our aunts, our uncles' wives, okay, and like I said, Lord's willing, through the Spirit, I'm gonna cover, ground in the Scripture. We're not supposed to be sleeping with, close relatives, all right, and what's been actually going on, as of late, as of recently, you got certain people in the world, in certain news articles that have taken these DNA tests or whatever the case, and they look at each other's last names on these certain websites, because a lot of those are false information anyway. But the point that I'm getting to, you got a lot of individuals who's coming to find out that they are second and third cousins or whatever, which Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, is trying to case as a level of incest, which a man sleeping with his first, second, or third cousin is not against the Scriptures. All right, it is not against the Scriptures. So if you sleep with your uncle's, first daughter, you as a man, if you sleep with your uncle's first daughter, that's actually not against the law. There's no Scripture against sleeping with your uncle's first daughter, or second daughter, or third daughter. All right, but and I'll get into that, Lord's willing. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump into this article. I'm not gonna read the whole thing through, but it really, it stood out. All right. So this is on let me see. This is on dailymail.co.uk. dailymailco.uk.com. All right. It says inside Australia's most inbred family tree, and how 4 generations of incest and depraved relationships on a remote outback farm finally tore the Koch clan apart. All right, so this was going on in Australia. It says for generations. All right, and if I'm not mistaken, a generation is equivalent to about 30 or 40 years. So this has been going on for a long time now. Okay, and when you look at the pictures, they pretty much blotted out the faces of these Australian native individuals, because that's how shameful it is. Okay, and just a brief real quick, there was an article previous to this that I seen, I want to say about a week and some change ago. It says exclusive, really on the same site, America's most inbred family welcomes dailymail.com to odd, it looks like West Virginia, WVA, where mute Lorraine boldly testified in church on Easter Sunday with son Timmy celebrating his 44th birthday, and Betty and Ray proudly showed off new roof and kitchen cabinets. So on this article, you can clearly see that these are inbred individuals. Block. You can clearly see that these are inbred individuals. Not only because it says it, but because, when you look at, individuals with certain medical and mental, health complications, either they're inbred or, the mother was drinking or she was high or something like that prior and during to the child being born, which science actually proves that as well. Okay, but that was really the point on that. Okay, so this article is by Candace Sutton for Daily Mail Australia. This was, if I'm not mistaken, published on April 10th, 2023, and updated the same day, at a later time. Okay. It says the 3 bullet dots. It says the Colts are Australia's most inbred family. Family tree shows 4 generations of incest. Depraved secrets finally tore them apart. It says the Colt incest family, and by the way, these are also Edomites, man. These are Edomites, and if you don't know what an Edomite is, well, if this is your first time watching, Hebrew Israelite videos, the word Edom means red. Okay, the word Edom means red. That's who the so-called self-proclaimed white man is today, and we've identified him through the scriptures, through the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, as being, Esau, Edom, according to Genesis 25 and 25. But reading on, it says the Colt incest family is almost all grown up, and the family tree of the depraved clan, whose discovery living in isolation in the hills behind a country town rocked the world, shows its tangled bloodlines. 4 generations of inbreeding had gone virtually unnoticed, until authorities uncovered the clan living in filthy conditions on an isolated bush block outside Borowa. I'm probably pronouncing that incorrectly, but it is what it is. 4 hours south of Sydney. All right, these are cities and environments in Australia. In 2012, shocked police and welfare workers found a living area of the farm that smelt of urine and feces, which lay open in buckets among the sleeping areas, and was also populated by about 20 dogs. By that time, the Colts patriarch Tim, who had moved the family between rural Victoria, Western Australia, and South Australia to evade detection as he fathered his daughter's children, had died. Tim's wife June, herself the product of a brother and sister relationship, so she was an incest baby, had also died, but not before at least 2 of her children, a sister and a brother, had a firmly established relationship of their own, and the 2 next generation, a brother and sister who were the children of Tim's favorite daughter Betty, had also taken up with each other and had 3 children, one of whom had died from a genetic disorder. All right, so, and you know what? Because I wanted to jump around in this article, I'm not even going to do that because Jake is fucking lazy. Look this up for yourselves. All right, you could pause the video. You could look this up for yourselves, man. Okay. But going back to the point, to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, it is unlawful to have sex, to have any type of, intercourse, sexual relations with a near kin or family member. Once again, your uncle's, as a man, your uncle's first daughter is not unlawful. Your uncle's first daughter is not unlawful according to the scriptures, man. All right? Your uncle's first, second, third daughter, your uncle's, as far as women goes, of course, is not against the scriptures. There's no law as such against those things. So now with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into some scriptures and see what the law says and distributes about, inbred behavior. Leviticus chapter 20, verse 17. We're going to start there. It says, and if a man shall take his sister, his father's daughter, all right, so this is your literal blood sister, or his mother's daughter, so this could be your half sister too, all right? It could be the sister that, both of y'all came out of both a man and a woman, your mother and your father, and things of that nature. This is your sister's sister. And then it says his father's daughter or his mother's daughter. Once again, your half sister. Because Jake, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, the Native Americans, all right, we didn't did so much wickedness over time, and we've become so indoctrinated by America that what? We sleeping with damn near anything, man. Jake is sleeping with damn near anything, man. All right, his own mother, his own sister, which I'm gonna pull a couple scriptures about that as well. His own aunt. All right. It says, and she see his nakedness. Excuse me. I'll just go ahead and start from the top again. And if a man shall take his sister, his father's daughter, or his mother's daughter, and see her nakedness, all right. So that means between your mother and both of your mother and your father, or even if your woman has had a child by another man before your current father, you're not supposed to take her either. It says, and see her nakedness, and she see his nakedness, it is a wicked thing, and they shall be cut off in the sight of their people. He hath uncovered his sister's nakedness, he shall bear his iniquity. All right, so and that's the point, man. Now let's see what it says in the NLT on the right hand side of the screen. It says, if a man marries his sister, and that word marry goes into having sex. All right, the word marry goes into having sex, man. Marriage today is Americanized. That's indoctrination. That is total indoctrination. I'm not going to go into everything, but that's not of our customs. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. It says, if a man marries his sister, the daughter of either his father or his mother, and they have sexual relations, it is a shameful disgrace. They must be publicly cut off from the community. Since the man has violated his sister, he will be punished for his sin. Okay, so there you go. It's a sin. It's a sin. It's a transgression against the law pursuant to, I'll just go ahead and put a scripture. I'll get it on Google actually. 1 John 3:4. So this is 1 John 3 and 4 on the Google definition, or on the Google display. All right, it says, everyone who makes a practice of sinning also practices lawlessness. Sin is lawlessness. All right, so when you practice sin, it's without the law. All right, that's why it says lawlessness. It's without the law. All right, when you're less in something, that means you're lacking. It says, everyone who sins is breaking God's law, for all sin is contrary to the law of the Most High. All who indulge in a sinful life are dangerously lawless, for sin is a major disruption of God's order. All right, so there you go. And it really doesn't get any plainer than that, man. Sin is the transgression of the law. You disobeyed a certain authority or rule, more particularly to the Heavenly Father. All right, so sleeping with your sister is an act of lawlessness to the Most High. Okay, and our people, even up until this day, is committing this act. As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and get you a history lesson, right? Let me get this in what was it? Let me see. This is the book of 2 Samuel, the 13th chapter, and you brothers and sisters, you can read it for yourselves. Okay, because rape and incest is in the Bible. All right, it is in the Bible, but it's not for the sake of pleasuring you. Because a lot of people got wicked minds. This is not for the sake of pleasuring you and things of that nature. This is just historical accounts. This is authenticity, authentica. Authentica. All right, this is authenticity. This is just a reality. This is history that we're supposed to learn from. All right, pursuant to Romans the 15th chapter in the 4th verse. 2 Samuel 13 and 1. It says, and it came to pass after this that Absalom, the son of David, had a fair sister whose name was Tamar, and Amnon, the son of David, loved her. All right, so pay attention to that. It says, and it came to pass after this that Absalom, the son of David, so Absalom was the son of David, had a fair sister whose name was Tamar. So Tamar was the daughter of David, okay? Abayath. All right. Excuse me. Akwath. Excuse me. Salakia. It's Akwath. All right. It's Akwath, a sister. Okay. It says whose name was Tamar, and Amnon, the son of David, loved her. So Amnon. So here it is. You got Absalom, Tamar, and Amnon. All three of them are of the seed of King David, the king of one of the greatest kings of Israel in his time. All three of them come from the same father. All right. It says, and Amnon was so vexed that he fell sick for his sister Tamar, for she was a virgin, and Amnon thought it hard for him to do anything to her. Yeah, he was contemplating it, like, I like her, I'm really attracted to her, but she's my sister. Okay. Verse 3, it says, but Amnon had a friend whose name was Jonadab, the son of Shemiah, David's brother, and Jonadab was a very subtle man. So this is Amnon's uncle. It says Jonadab was David's brother. So Amnon was going to talk to his own uncle about the situation, right? Let's read on. What happens next? It says, verse 4, and he said unto him, why art thou, being the king's son, lean from day to day? Wilt thou not tell me? And Amnon said unto him, I love Tamar, my brother Absalom's sister. So it seemed like in this context that Amnon was just like, he was walking around sulking, you know, like Jake walking around with his head down, don't know what to do with his damn life and things of that nature, you know. So his uncle asked him, like, what's wrong with you? You know, like, talk to me. Are you not going to talk to me? All right. It says, and Amnon said unto him, I love Tamar, my brother Absalom's sister. And Jonadab said unto him, lay thee down on thy bed and make thyself sick. So this is his own, keep in mind, this is his own uncle telling him this. And Jonadab said unto him, lay thee down on thy bed and make thyself sick. And when thy father cometh to see thee, say unto him, I pray thee, let my sister Tamar come and give me meat, and dress the meat in my sight, that I may see it and eat it at her hand. So his uncle, Amnon's uncle, Jonadab, was telling his own nephew, play sick for your sister in front of your father, you know, play sick and have her come to the room and deliver some food to you to you know, nourish you back to life, because that was ultimately, well, one of the ultimate roles of the Israelite woman, you know, to nourish and nurse her man, you know, back to a certain degree of life, man. All right, the scriptures talk about, as a matter of fact, let me I'll pull it out real quick. All right, one of the main jobs of the Israelite woman, of the Israelite women, was to nurse her man back to life, man. All right, not just sexually, but, you know, emotionally, you know, to a certain degree, spiritually, to a certain degree. I say that confidently, to a certain degree spiritually. Okay, but what? And that's the role of a woman, to be a man's help. That's why the scriptures say, be fruitful and multiply. This is the book of Ecclesiastic. It's called Sirach, in the 26th chapter, verse 13. It says, the grace of a wife delighteth her husband, and her discretion will fatten his bones. All right, and Jonadab, Amnon's uncle, he knew that. All right, a woman's desire is supposed to be into her man. That goes back to the book of Genesis. So second Samuel chapter 13, verse 6, it says, so Amnon lay down. Matter of fact, hold on. Yeah, verse 6, it says, so Amnon lay down and made himself sick. And when the king was come to see him, Amnon said unto the king, I pray thee, his king being the father, both of their fathers, These are literal brother and sister. I pray thee, let Tamar my sister come and make me a couple of cakes in my sight, that I may eat at her hand. Then David sent home to Tamar, saying, Go now to thy brother Amnon's house and dress him meat. Yeah, go get some food for my son. Go get some nourishment for my son. All right. So Tamar went to her brother Amnon's house, and he was laid down. And she took flour and kneaded it and made cakes in his sight and did bake the cakes. So what she was cooking a meal up for him. All right, because what? He was playing sick. Lord's willing, you still following. Verse 9, and she took a pan and poured them out before him, but he refused to eat. And Amnon said, Have out all men from me. And they went out every man from him. Yeah. He was telling, all the servants in their presence to go away. Verse 10, and Amnon said unto Tamar, Bring the meat into the chamber, that I may eat of thine hand. And Tamar took the cakes which she had made and brought them into the chamber to Amnon her brother. Now, reading through, you could tell she's not bucking up. She's not being disobedient, because what? In our customs, our women are supposed to be obedient. Just like the men, our women are supposed to be obedient to their men. Just like the man is supposed to be obedient to Yahweh Shem Yahushai and the son. Directly the son, and then the son is obedient to his father. I should say, 1 Corinthians, the 11th chapter. But reading on. In verse 11, and when she had brought them unto him to eat, he took hold of her and said unto her, Come lie with me, my sister. Yeah, like come have sex with me. And she answered him, Nay, my brother, do not force me, for no such thing ought to be done in Israel. Do not thou this folly. And what's so significant about the situation, before Israel became Israel, you have the account of Lot. You have the account of Lot and his daughters when they was exiting Sodom and Gomorrah. All right. As a matter of fact, let me see. Let me see. It's in Genesis, the 19th chapter. I'll just go ahead and get to the point. As a matter of fact, let me start off at let me go ahead and I'll start at verse 31. Genesis 19 and 31. All right, for you individuals that's not familiar with the story about Lot and his two daughters and how the nation of Moab and Ammon came to be. It says, and the firstborn said unto the younger, and this is, like I said, this is literally when they exited Sodom and Gomorrah. All right, this was some time after, and Lot's wife, who he was initially supposed to be procreating with anyway. This is when Lot's wife got turned to a pillar of salt by the Most High, because she looked back at the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. All right. In Genesis 19 and 31, it says, and the firstborn said unto the younger, Our father is sold, and there is not a man in the earth to come in unto us after the manner of all the earth. Yeah, they couldn't find anybody at the current time. Verse 32, Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. Yeah, let's have sex with our father. And they made their father drink wine that night, and the firstborn went in and lay with her father. And he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. Yes, because when you drink wine, when you're intoxicated, you don't have a very good level of discernment, man. I can attest to this because I drink alcohol, and there are times where I've gotten, like flat out drunk and things of that nature. It was the same situation with our forefather Noah. Okay, he got drunk. Some of our other forefathers got drunk and things of that nature. And the scriptures talk about, like, when you drink too much wine or too much, hard, strong drink, you forget the law. That's in the book of Proverbs. I think it's the 30th chapter, if I'm not mistaken. It says, And they made their father drink wine that night, and the firstborn went in and lay with her father, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. Yeah, he didn't even know that, it was his own daughter. It just happened because he was drunk, he was intoxicated, he was unaware. Verse 34, and it came to pass on the morrow that the firstborn said unto the younger, behold, I lay yesternight with my father. Let us make him drink wine this night also, and go thou in and lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. And they made their father drink wine that night also, and the younger arose and lay with him, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. All right, so there you go, and that's the point. That's the point. All right, so Lot, our forefather Lot, slept with his own daughters, man. Okay, our forefather Lot slept with his own daughters and didn't perceive that they was his daughters. Okay, and then you had the nation of Ammon or Ben-Ami and the nation of Moab born. Okay, so 2 Samuel chapter 13 verse 12, it says, and she answered him, speaking of the situation with Tamar, and she answered him, nay, my brother, do not force me. Like don't, you know the word I'm talking about. It says, nay, my brother, do not force me, for no such thing ought to be done in Israel. Do not thou this folly. And she said that, why? Because she knew the law. All right, which I'm going to get into in a little bit. She says, do not thou this folly. And I, whither shall I cause my shame to go? Yeah, like this is going to bring a shame unto me. You know what I'm saying? Like who, the man, the man that whoever he was, who was supposed to be married to her, initially, this shame is going to go about. This is going to be news in Israel. Long story short, this is going to be news in Israel that she was, forced by her own brother. It says, whither shall I cause my shame to go? And as for thee, thou shalt be as one of the fools in Israel. Yeah, you're going to be shameful too, Now therefore I pray thee, speak unto the king, for he will not withhold me from thee. Howbeit he would not hearken unto her voice, but being stronger than she, forced her and lay with her. So here it is. You got Amnon slept with his sister. And I'm going to drop it right there because I'm not trying to make this all crazy long. This is 2 Samuel, the 13th chapter. Let's go ahead and get the law, the Levitical law, about what it says about sleeping with your relatives. This is the book of Leviticus chapter 20, verse 17. It says, and if a man shall take his sister, his father's daughter, or his mother's daughter, and see her nakedness, and she see his nakedness, it is a wicked thing. And they shall be cut off in the sight of their people. He hath uncovered his sister's nakedness, he shall bear his iniquity. I know I got it a little bit earlier, all right, but just to recap on the situation, it says, verse 18, and if a man shall lie with the woman having her sickness, and shall uncover her nakedness, he have discovered her fountain, and she have uncovered the fountain of her blood, and both of them shall be cut off from among their people. So I wanted to go ahead, and that's why I came back to this. I want to go ahead and get the word for that expression, cut off. So this is the Hebrew word karath. All right, karath. Karatha, karath. It says to cut off, cut down, cut off a body part, cut out, eliminate, cut a covenant. All right, so what? You would either be killed or you would be scattered, if I'm not mistaken. And somebody correct me if I'm wrong. All right, but if you got cut off from the nation of Israel, you would either be put to death or you would be scattered. All right, that's why the scriptures talk about not Jeremiah, Isaiah 16:4. Let mine outcasts dwell with you, Moab. All right, so some of those outcasts, all of those outcasts, forgive me, all of those outcasts was individuals that are Israelites according to the flesh, who were scattered to other nations. All right, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, Isaiah 16:4. Let mine outcasts dwell with thee, Moab. All right, which is the so-called Chinese today, which came from our forefather Lot. All right, it says cut off, cut down, to hew. It says the last definition, Oh, well, the second to last definition, it says to cut off, destroy, to cut down, destroy, to take away, to permit to perish. So there you go, man. The Lord would either kill you or he would send you away. You would be an outcast. You would be in exile. Let's go ahead and look that word up. All right. Same thing for if you eat leavened bread on the Passover. If you eat leavened bread on the Passover, and the 7 days therewith, the Passover is supposed to continue to be, rehearsed and things of that nature. The Feast of Unleavened Bread. Okay, we're not supposed to have anything that makes dough rise. You would be cut off from the nation of Israel. The Lord would kill you, or you would be an outcast. All right. So definition, exile definition. It says the state of being barred from one's native country, typically for political or punitive reasons. So there you go. So one of those political and punitive reasons that Amnon, in this sense, he would technically be cut off from the nation of Israel at that time. He would still be an Israelite, but either he would get put to death or he would be an outcast. And it's up to you to look at that story and see his judgment. I'm not going to go into everything. All right. But what? Amnon, who forced his sister to lay with him. Okay. He committed sin. The sin of incest, which is what these Edomites did. They committed incest. And this is I think it was for like 4 generations. It's 4 generations of incest, man. But this is the nature of Esau, Edom. All right, they get down like this, and that's why the world, and not just them, but a lot of these other nations outside of Israel, even 2/3 of our people indulge in this damn folly. All right, and this is why it's important to have law and instruction. So that way shit like this doesn't happen, because this is shameful. They had to blot out their faces, man. They had to blot out their faces. Look at this. It's shameful. It's shameful. In their bodies, and according to the article, like they walked like real crooked and weird. Because what? They were inbred. But their physical bodies almost look like regular people until you see them walk, according to the article. So that was really the point on that. And you got certain individuals of the nation of Israel, like 2/3, the 2/3 of these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that's going to get cut off when Yahweh Shah, who the world calls Jesus Christ, come back, who indulged in this act as well. All right. So let me go ahead and get this. I think it was Ezekiel, the 22nd chapter. Ezekiel 22, just to prove that it's Israel. Ezekiel 22:6. So that was our forefather Amnon. All right. Or our forebrother, I should say, our forebrother Amnon, who committed incest with his own younger sister. All right, with his own sister. Who committed that wicked, filthy, detestable act. But let's see what the scriptures say. About our own people, continuing on further to accomplish this folly. Ezekiel 22:6, it says, "Behold, the princes of Israel, Yasharallah, everyone were indeed to their power to shed blood. In thee have they set light by father and mother. In the midst of thee have they dealt by oppression with the stranger. In thee have they vexed the fatherless and the widow." You're talking about their own people, the stranger, because you got Israelites abroad. It says, "Thou hast despised mine holy things and hast profaned my Sabbaths. In thee are men that carry tails to shed blood, and in thee they eat upon the mountains. In the midst of thee they commit lewdness." Worshiping other gods, sacrificing to other gods and idols and things of that nature. All right. Discovering their secret parts, their wickedness. In thee have they discovered their father's nakedness also. Can't leave that out. You got our forefather Reuben, Ra'al Ban. Okay. Ra'al Ban, which means it's a son. Ra'al Ban, he slept with his father's concubine, his father Jacob's concubine. All right. It says, "In thee have they humbled her that was set apart for pollution, all right, talking about a woman on her period, her menstrual cycle, and one have committed abomination with his neighbor's wife, J committing adultery till this very day, and another have lewdly defiled his daughter-in-law. And a woman that he was married to, a woman that whatchamacallit, his son's wife, okay, his daughter-in-law, his son's wife, okay, you got that going on as well. You know, you had a situation that happened actually a couple of years back, but it resurfaced, talking about a man found out that his own son was actually his uncle, because his father has slept with his wife. His granddaddy slept with his wife. His own grandfather slept with his wife, you know. And this was going on for a while, because the young man, you know, was pretty much, was almost grown at this time, man. It says, and another in thee have humbled his sister, his father's daughter. So there you go, man. All right. So even until this very day, just like how it was in the ancient world, you know, you got a lot of our people, the 2/3, who are sleeping with their own relatives, man, sleeping with their own grandmothers, their own aunties, all right, sleeping with their own biological sisters or half sisters or even sisters-in-law. The scriptures speak against all of those things, man. You know, it's really not that hard to understand when you got the faith, you know. Let me see. Slacky, just bear with me. There was something else that I wanted to bring out. In Leviticus, you know, in certain scriptures, yes, the stranger is talking about the Israelite foreigners. All right. In certain scriptures. Let me see. Yeah, I did type in father, daughter. Leviticus 18:9, it says, the nakedness of thy sister, the daughter of thy father, or daughter of thy mother, whether she be born at home. So, you know, y'all being in the same tent, the same house, the same, dwelling place, bayath, or born abroad, even their nakedness thou shalt not uncover. All right. So once again, you are not supposed to sleep with your sister, whether she be born at home or abroad. And, being that Israel is so scattered, there are certain times where you literally, like, you sincerely don't know, because you got certain of our men who have been forced to go to war for this damn place, so they may have had a daughter, you know what I'm saying, in the land that they was native to, but because they got forced off to war in another land, you know what I'm saying, the son or the daughter born nearby may sleep with the daughter that was born abroad or something like that, man. Okay. It says, the nakedness of thy son's daughter or of thy daughter's daughter, even their nakedness thou shalt not uncover. All right. So your daughter-in-law, all right, and things of that nature, or your granddaughter-in-law, you're not supposed to touch her, man. That's unlawful. It says, for theirs is thine own nakedness, the nakedness of thy father's wife's daughter, begotten of thy father, she is thy sister. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. So as Israelite men, we're not supposed to, sleep with our aunts. Okay? Your father's sister, that's your aunt. It says, thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy mother's sister, for she is thy mother's near kinswoman. All right? So you can't sleep with your father's sister, and you can't sleep with your mother's sister. It says, thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father's brother. Thou shalt not approach to his wife, she is thine aunt. All right. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father's brother. All right. So this goes out to you Mo Jakes. All right. You same-sex Jakes, and you women as well. All right. This applies to the women as well. This applies to the nation of Israel. Just because it keeps saying, man, and things of that nature, or referencing men, doesn't mean that it does not apply to women as well. This is a general thing for Israel, man. Okay? And you can continue to read this for yourselves. This is Leviticus, the 18th chapter. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop it there. Lord's willing, this was edifying. And until next time, Shalom.